everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Monster Noire, Part 6 of our City of Mist campaign. Today is September 23rd, 2021, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners. Oh God, at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, including full playthroughs of Curse of Strahd, Ghost of Saltmarsh, Waterdeep Dragon, Heist, Tauma of Annihilation, a long going homebrew campaign. We just passed our 3-year mark on the 4 keeps, which has been wild. And of course, our backlog of Monster Noire. This is Season 2, so if you want to check out the events that happened in Season 1 or anything else going on, you can again go to youtube.com/indooradventures, or you can find us anywhere audiocasts are made available for free. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us at patreon.com/indoor adventures, and we will do our best to respond in kind. But let's say, for example, you already support us on Twitch, you already support us on YouTube and Patreon and all of these other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Guess what, buddy? I got your back. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, clocks, aprons, and most importantly, we also got Tiamat masks. That's right, we have face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf1201, where all of the proceeds from those face masks end up going to help support Doctors Without Borders in the ongoing battle against, the thing that's happening outside.
The Backstreet Boys reunion tour?
Yes, the Panera that's outside and encompassing all. All the proceeds of those masks go towards that. So if you would like to help support a good cause, or possibly help support the show, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. That is indooradventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So before I pass it off, Freddie LaChance, thank you so much for the follow. It happened when we were still on the break screen. GB, would you like to kind of give a hint as to what happens when we get followers, subscribers on the channel while you're here?
When I'm on the channel and we get new followers, I take this maul and I hit that guy in the face.
Yes. It is a satisfying bong, and there will be many more as long as y'all just keep following. Super simple. Just press a button. But again, that is it for my opening spiel. So hey, Satan, who are you playing today?
Hi everyone, my name is Satan, and today I'll be playing Lilith, the vampire mobster. I use she, they pronouns. She uses she, her pronouns. Yeah.
And Danae, who are you playing?
Every time. Hi, everybody. I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. I'm going to be playing as Dot, who is now a werewolf. And we both use she, her pronouns.
Hi, I'm Jen. I go by she, her. I'll be playing Beltane Hawthorne, the ancient fae, and he goes by he, him.
And I am the indoor adventurer, he, him, and tonight I shall be playing as Ezekiel Sullivan, Lone Star Gunman.
I'm Greybeard of Greybeard's Tavern, and I go by he, him, and I'll play the rest of the universe. The universe? What universe is that? It's our Monster Noire universe, which is based on things like Dark Shadows, Hellboy, Supernatural. It's a dark noir fantasy set in the 1940s. We are using the City of Mist game system to play it, and I guess previously on Monster Noire, one of the last things we saw was an old friend of the of half the company. Harker was staring into her magic devil's book and using it as like a scrying device to watch the players, and they saw the avatar of Raka, one of the ancient primordials, bound in a cell in a VA hospital, mistaken for someone who has severe PTSD and anger issues. But they are, in our universe, they are actually a transformed demon. The big thing you need to know about the universe is there is a veil, and normal muggles basically cannot see beyond the veil, so they don't see the monsters. They see normal people. A zombie shuffles by on the street, they just see an old man. Newspaper boys are actually goblins. Newsies are goblins, and that kind of thing. Now, moving into our story for the evening, our dear friend Harker is looking into the book, and we saw that she was seeing this behorned, red-skinned, totally ripped individual straining against their bonds in the VA hospital, and the red glow upon her, she kind of smiles, and then we just see the little bit of a quirk, a grin, like a teeth, a rictus smile, as it were, and we see the chains break of the Raka avatar, and we see the door, the padded cell door, shudder, and it shudders again, and then we cut away, and the group itself had headed back to the castle. Was it?
I believe so. It was close to the end of the evening, so most of us who aren't exactly keen on the nightlife were getting mighty tired.
All right. So we head off to into the hills above Port Rovecloft, and to a mysterious castle which is warded and hidden in the valleys, in the mountains. We're in the car. We're pulling up to the place. Beltane is driving. Did we ever decide what your new car is?
It was Puck the truck that became a hearse.
So it is
that was
Puck the truck.
Well, that was the old one, but then I hijacked a car, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this. And then Beltane was like, I'm putting it in the shop and changing it around a little bit. So whatever that car was, I feel like was the new ride.
Oh, I forgot that happened.
The stolen car had become...
the stolen car.
Okay.
And then Lilith's like, don't change it. So he's not changed it. It's still the stolen car.
I didn't say don't change it. You can change it.
Then it'll be a Rolls Royce 1935.
Okay. 1935 Rolls Royce.
Oh, you can change it that much, can he?
I mean, when you're an ancient fae, and
he turned a truck into a hearse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I was thinking like maybe some RGB lighting, a little bit of nitrous.
No, just a completely different car.
He's gonna go street racing after this. This is how the street racing nightlife started, and this is how the moonshine whole NASCAR thing started.
Trunk is just speakers.
It's the Munsters rat rod with the half dozen pipes coming up out of the sides, and tailpipes up near the engine. No hood, just engine exposed. Cobweb or spiderweb details on the windows.
I put a 1935 Rolls Royces into the.
Monster Noire.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right, cool. Now we know we're riding in style.
Phantom 2. I love it.
Right. Oh, I forgot they were called that. Okay. Rather than have spend all night talking about ancient cars, what does the team do? Because tomorrow evening, somebody has a date. So
I should have thought about that, being that she's a vampire and does not eat food. But you know.
Hmm.
Well, maybe you could eat like a blood sausage or something like that.
Maybe I'll just order my steak rare.
That's always a possibility. Now, my memory of your interaction inside the hospital was a little bit foggy because I was dealing,
With
Dot
the
and I
bodies in
with
the trunk.
bodies is, meaning
It's the
more that they were all
limbs.
whole. Yeah, we were dealing with like a jigsaw puzzle of only corner pieces in the back of a truck.
I like that description.
An armored calamari.
One of them, yeah. But, so, you're going on a
Calamari.
date with...
No, it's not a date.
All right, you're
But
going
then
out
I
for
got-
dinner.
Beltane and I invited the doctor to a dinner out so we can talk about the possibility about a new job opening for him.
Oh, so like a business lunch.
Exactly.
heard of
but
those.
it's dinner. Yes.
Breaking into his house.
Yes, while you two are breaking into his house.
That was the
which
part that I
coulda-
was curious about getting to. Yeah.
I talked to Biggie. Looks at Dot. And he is working on getting me that address. So once we get it, hopefully by tomorrow, before this business dinner, then you two can pick it up and then find out where his house is.
All right, so the plan for tomorrow then, while you're at dinner, we just break into the house.
Yes.
All right, sounds easy enough.
I figured that was more your speed than a business dinner.
That's definitely fair. I never know what side the forks and the knives and all that shit go on
To
anyways.
be honest, I grew up on etiquette. It's complete bullshit. You can use one fork for everything.
I do, and then people look at me funny.
Yeah, not the same fork day after day. Like, you have multiple so that you can have clean forks.
It is
Okay.
clean. All the food's off of it when I'm done using it.
No, licking it does not count as cleaning it, Zeke.
I don't
Just
see
eat
what
with
the
your
problem is.
hands.
Dipping it in your coffee doesn't make it clean either.
Coffee has an acidic base to it, right? So if I just
Especially when you make
whip
it.
it around inside the coffee. Look, I've put lots of silverware inside my coffee, and then it always comes out clean.
Right.
I don't see what the problem here is. But now I feel like I'm being attacked for my own personal habits, and that's besides the point. What we need to worry about is, do we know anything about this house? He's a doctor, so it's probably going to be like a better looking house. Do we need a disguise? Are we going as ourselves for people to able to like easily recognize?
Seen us before,
Marshall.
but so long as he isn't there,
Yes.
I don't think that matters.
Do we need like fake mustaches so we can pretend to be plumbers?
Don't you? You already have a mustache, see?
Well, Dot doesn't.
I hear anybody can pretend to be a plumber nowadays.
Especially if they're from Italy.
I adore and hate all of you. Okay.
Well, no. Hopefully, you wouldn't have to disguise yourself. I would suggest maybe darker clothes, blending into the night and all that. Be aware. Don't make noise. Be quiet.
Yeah, I'm the best at that.
Sure. See, this is usually a little bit different for me because at points I would kind of just turn into mist and just sneak on underneath the door, but
Well, it sounds like you should be the one breaking in then. Like,
no,
if you
see,
can
I
literally,
don't have that
like,
anymore.
what happened? Did you just wake up one day and you're like, oh, I suddenly can't turn into mist anymore?
Yeah, I don't know what really
Oh.
happened.
Well, I'm sorry. I feel like that might be a sore spot. I won't press any further.
It's all right. I can steal other people's powers now, so I think that's a win-win.
The game system stole her mist power
Yeah.
for its title. So,
Yeah.
Everybody changes now and then, Zeke. And when you live as long as Lilith does, then you get more opportunity to change.
That's a
That is
fair
very
point.
true.
Yep.
there's like one of Lilith's servants or something just like looks over at Dot like 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 some angel had just you had sprouted extra eyes or something or 9 wings. Like that was some wise, they don't say anything, but they look at
Weirdly profound shit.
yeah, like that was
Someone
life changing.
understands.
Yeah, exactly. There was some life changing shit going on there.
I'm a manic pixie dream girl. I don't know what you want from me.
Exactly. Yeah, particularly since you don't have a horse this time, so I don't know what you're supposed to do with that. No horse girl. It's magic, a
I'm
magic
sure.
pixie.
Well, I'm sure we'll get her a horse at some point.
I'll find a horse somewhere.
All right.
I gotta be able to make a horse out of something here.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
So unless there's anything you want to try to accomplish during the rest of the night and the next day, we'll do the screen wipe to the next day.
Lilith did want to. I have decided she has a library because it's a castle, so why wouldn't she have a giant library?
Yeah.
That she has stocked with, not necessarily normal mortal books, but like supernatural books. And she's gonna try and do research about these primordials. Because clearly there's one that's missing, and we don't know which one it is.
Okay. All right. Let's and hold on. Let me find everybody's intentions. Indoor, I saw your paw up.
Yeah, my mitts were up mostly because so we're breaking into this fool's house.
Yes.
That's a go. Are we just looking around? Like, what are we? Is there like a specific?
Set it on fire.
No. I forgot you both are quite new. Well, not new.
Yeah, what are
You're not new to this world, Zeke, but you are, Dot.
No, I'm not. What are you talking about? I grew up in this world. I just knew enough to stay out of it.
Is there like a big book that says like danger necromancer on it?
It probably won't say danger necromancer. It might have some decoration that might say allude that is magical or old or necromancer. Also, it will probably be a big book. It'll sometimes glow red if it's the same as the other big book I remember.
All right. Well, that's
what exactly are we looking for in his house?
A book.
Just
not necessarily. Nope.
Is
We're
it
trying
like
to find evidence. Yes, go ahead.
Is like if he's like a wizard, do we need to find like a staff or a pointy hat with a bunch of stars on it, and like in his case, maybe like some skulls, like a big jewel that's radiating ill intent? Like I'm just not really sure what we're breaking in for. Like I know, trust me, I like breaking into people's houses as much as the next guy.
Well,
you need to stop watching Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Okay. When you break into someone's house, you can find a lot of information. Now,
general advice.
General life advice. You see, we're trying to find the source of this magic. How is he connected to a primordial, which ends up being possibly what has touched you and gave you those weird marks. So there's probably some sort of evidence about his workings.
Do we know that he's connected to a primordial?
Well, his car had the arms and legs.
Ah, right.
Right, yeah.
The arm and legs
yeah.
with the tattoos, yes.
Sorry, I locked that one up, that memory deep in there.
Totally fair. I hadn't thought about it until this moment either. So, if we can figure out the connection and where he's getting these bodies, maybe we can track down this primordial, stop him turning my entire town into zombies. Find evidence and information that will help us do that.
Okay, so
all right, so
basically stop him from doing all of this.
Exactly.
if we
Okay.
can. Otherwise, like if we break in and we don't find anything, I'm just saying this now. If we really want to put this guy on tilt, like if we want to make sure that he is just like not sitting well, you move around all of his furniture and stuff just a little bit.
You know what? I approve this. Even if you do find something, just do it anyways.
All right.
It's fun because he'll always be stubbing his toe for at least the next month or so.
Just a little bit. Like when we get in, if he has like a welcome mat or like a slight rug, we really want to like tilt that up. So if he comes home in a hurry, he might trip on that like immediately.
I say we break down his entire door and then not touch anything.
Or
and then he'll
just
just like always be wondering what happened.
Like a
take
breaking
one
and
very
entering, but just the
important
breaking part.
screw.
Yeah, just the B.
Just the B. Okay.
You could take a very important screw from every single furniture.
Take the batteries out of his remote.
Yes, take the batteries out of his remote.
Sorry, we are literally just tangenting now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Will's just gonna look at Beltane. He's like, "What? You didn't think I picked up a few things from all my years with you?"
I was just going to set his house on fire, but yeah, all that sounds fun.
Like look, breaking and entering, that's one thing. Arson in a there are already matchbook houses out there anyways. Like we don't need that on us.
a lot of people could get hurt if you did that.
That's very true. Though I have missed a good arson.
Just tell the flames not to spread. No, listen.
Oh yeah,
No,
like
they
that.
won't.
You know what? No, it probably would work for Beltane. He would probably just be like,
yeah,
"Let
oh,
me
yes,
call my
no.
sister the Queen of Fire or some shit."
No, that's my employer. I literally his judge, jury, and executioner. My name literally translates into the fires of Bel.
Yeah, that one's him. He's the Queen of Fire.
You know what? Well, I am actually not surprised.
It was during a big fire that Belton and I met. I set fire to a mansion, and he just appeared there.
Justification.
No, I am rightfully worried about sleeping in the same building as you all tonight.
Well, first of all, the castle's stone, so
I don't know. Y'all got
I
a
can
bunch of
only-
weird shit going on. Next thing I know, you're burning stone with your mind or something.
that's a fair
No.
assumption. But also, why would I burn down my castle?
Why did you burn down your mansion?
Oh, because there was an abusive asshole inside. It wasn't
I
my
don't
mansion;
know.
it was his. Do you want me to tell you the story?
No, I'm going to bed. Good night.
Good night.
Are you
Don't
sure
let
it
the fire
involves
bugs bite.
decapitation?
Nope, don't want to hear it. Already dealt with too many body parts not attached to bodies today. But thank you very
You know,
much.
fireflies are messengers of fire. He calls after him.
He's just like, I need a strong
night.
drink. I'm gonna
And Dot.
wear all my clothes to bed.
Dot is going to recruit Beltane in researching various wards that can protect houses and how to break them.
Excellent. All right, let's start with Lilith. Let's go to an investigate. So roll plus applicable powers minus weaknesses.
Okay. I do have outsmart competition
All right.
and
And
thrill
then-
of winning because she likes to win.
Okay. Applicable.
Okay.
And I will give you a third for the resources because of the
Yeah, I
because
do
of the
have-
library.
I do, yeah, and I do have one that says company resources. So,
Alright.
let's see, what do I have to roll?
It's-
6 and plus 3
But do you have any applicable weaknesses?
weaknesses.
Or
They-
statuses?
I do not have statuses, though. My weaknesses have to do with being around other people or outside.
Excellent. None applicable. All right.
Okay.
Plus 3.
We'll see. 9.
All right. Okay, so you are gonna get 3 clues, and then you get to
Ooh.
choose one. Shall I post them, or do you got it?
I got him.
Okay.
Wait, which one am I reading? No, I don't got him.
Investigate.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see. Okay.
I'm gonna post them in chat.
He exposes me to danger.
All right.
Yeah, I want to be in danger. Why not?
Okay, sounds good. There, I posted them in chat. Okay. Oops. Okay. Sorry, technical issues. So you've you've pulled this book, from the, say, 1680s, early 1700s. It's a gold leaf edition of, basically the Chronicles of Monsieur Benedict something or other. It's a book basically written by a monk who had studied occult lore and whatnot. And as you're flipping through it, it's making references to these 3 demons. And it's saying that basically it's talking about the mother of the void, basically a proto-Satan, who gave birth to 2 sons. One was beautiful and full of pride, and one was greedy and full of earthly lusts and whatnot. And then in that, it references another account where or another author, which you happen to have a book on, and you pull it, and as you're going through, it contradicts technically the first book you pulled was the second author, so that now the earlier reference you're checking is saying that these 3 demonic entities are actually all siblings. And that the older sister it references her as the maiden of secrets, the mistress of magic. A lot of in this book, it's calls them druids. A lot of druids used to worship her, and in the midnight dances and stars, and call upon her power to give them demonic magics. But she always in the end got their souls. So like I said, there's these 2 different references, and basically one is like a monk and one is a chronicler who people considered a madman. So in these references that you find, the other things that you find out are things that relate to parts you already know, that the demonic entity is how the monk writes it, is Groth. The prideful, violent one is Raka, and then the third mistress of magic is referenced as Shay or Shayla.
Shay or Sheila.
And yeah, so you believe you've put a name to this third entity.
Okay. Dope. She is going to take her findings to Beltane and Dot when they finish. I imagine she has told them like, oh, come to the library with me. I have so many books. My son outfitted with the best magic books. I got you.
Right. Jean.
It's like fucking Beauty and the Beast library.
There's tall sliding ladders that roll around okay, and then so yeah, that's where we get that kind of research montage where you're looking in these books and stuff. I'm gonna say that we as the audience get to see you've found in the second book, the earlier manuscript, you see that there's 3 shapes, and Raka is associated with the triangle, and Groth is associated with a circle, and Shay is a square. And you realize that the square is part of the tattoo that you saw on all the limbs and pieces in the trunk of the doctor's vehicle. Meanwhile, in the rest of that montage, the other 2, who is helping and who is going to make the roll on this investigate?
I feel like I'm gonna have a pretty good power to this.
Okay. So it will be
Beltane will, if it's possible, help. Like he's just laying it out circles. It's like, no, it's like this, write it like this.
All right. I'm not seeing, how do you help in this game? I suddenly can't remember. Isn't it a move?
It was not a move. What you do is that you offer the DM abilities that you have as an assistance, and then that becomes an advancing like +1, +2 for the overall help action. So you're basically like, oh, if I do this, you can get an additional +1, not a +1 rolly dice, but like just a base plus to the actual like difficulty challenge.
Okay, so what do you got to offer there, Beltane?
Ancient history, and I have just the thing and tap into the source.
Oh, awesome. Ooh, okay. How to translate that to, what do you got, Dot?
Book of Monsters, Lunchroom Gossip, and Eye for Details. And the reason I say Lunchroom Gossip is because her co-workers are actually a part of the fantasy world. So she like has an ear to the ground as far as like the co-workers and stuff.
Okay.
So like, oh, I heard about this at work. Like my buddy Joe the Troll.
Right. Yeah. Joe the Mountain Troll has been around for approximately 3,000, 4,000 years, and things seep into his rock hard skull. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and we'll give you the +3, and I'm gonna let you roll it twice.
Ooh. All right. Well, good, because I just rolled 2 1s. Ah, well now I rolled 2 4s.
Okay.
Very interesting. Okay. +3, 7.
Okay. All right.
No,
Oh, you
hold on.
rolled 2 4s.
Yeah, no, two fours. Hold on, I'm doing
8,
math wrong.
9, 10, 11. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I added up too. And then when you said that, I'm like, oh no, you didn't roll that. Okay. Okay.
It makes sense in my. It made sense in my brain.
In your brain, it worked out. All right.
My brain, it worked out.
So that will be 3 clues, and
I'd be completely willing for that to be like 3 freebies to like get past
You wanna-
magical fences in the house.
you want to like hold.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going.
This is mostly just prep work. I'm not actually looking for clues or anything. Like
Okay.
I'm looking for like applicable stuff to help once we go in there.
All right. Yeah. Hold 3 clues then.
I
I think when Dot closes a particular circle, it changes Beltane into a dryad hawthorn tree, and he's like, "Yeah, this is the revelation one. That was good." He pauses. You need to erase the circle. I can't get out.
fixes it.
Thank you.
She uses her magic scissors to cut her fingers to cut the circle. I've been in that ceremony in real life. Okay. So you've got your 3. We've got that. Lilith was exposed to danger. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are going to say, she had the second book open, and as she was going back and forth to them, we see a little bit of that cosmic stardust, the like how Zeek was star touched. We see the paper on the older book. We see these symbols, and we see the square and the triangle and the circle, and some of the ink kind of glows with a black blue light when she's looking at this book, and then it turns into that starry wispy vapor, and it just touches Lilith's hand. So Lilith, if you would put star touched down as a status.
Yay.
It's-
Where are my statuses? Would it be in story tags?
Where is it on the character sheet? I haven't looked
I
at a
have no
character
idea.
sheet in weeks. Dun, dun, dun. Statuses. Oh, that's tiny. My old eyes can't see.
What are we looking for?
Statuses.
Well, are we looking for statuses or story tags?
That's what I was thinking.
Story tags are at the very bottom of the first character card where
Yeah.
your name is. And that's where I wound up having my silver poisoning and everything.
Okay. Sounds
Put it there.
good. Yeah. Yep. There we go. Okay. That's good. Sounds great. Okay. All right. Let's go with, yeah. So you were exposed to danger. You are now star touched. Okay. Let's move on to breakfast.
Before Dot goes to bed tonight, she'll like pack up and everything and sort of brush past Lilith. And as she does so, she'll like touch her shoulder and say, "Hey, you offered to tell us that story, with like the fire and the beheading and whatever. Have you told that to Belle?"
Yes, I mean he was there.
Yeah,
Well,
but he doesn't remember it.
true, I suppose.
You've got to tell him. It's kind of how he works. And Dot goes to bed.
Well, shit. I think
That's
this.
been spending time with Belle.
I think Lilith will. I'm assuming she doesn't know she's Star Touch because she wasn't looking.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to say that like you're looking down at your book, and then like we can see stars sort of swimming around in your eyes, and then like Dot touches your shoulder, and then like startles you out of like a trance of some
Oh
sort.
yeah. Once Dot leaves, she'll give a sigh. I hate it when other people are right. And she'll close her books, leave them on the table for another night, and try and go find Beltane.
Sitting at the edge of a circle, looking through a book and grumbling as he's writing something down. He looks up. I trapped myself in a circle.
Again. That's the story for another time. She's gonna look, and then she's gonna. Is it like a written circle, like on the ground?
It's like a written circle on the ground, and he's trying to disarm it, but he's not getting very far.
Yeah.
He was just hula hooping.
Yeah, Lilith is gonna like pluck a pen from the table and just kind of look and tap it against her. She's like, "Oh, well, here you go," and she'll kind of cross out and change a rune, and it'll just disappear. Yes, you're right now.
It's fine.
All right. So, remember back in the car when I mentioned something about how we met?
Yes.
Do you actually remember that?
I remember flames and I remember a garden, but that's about it.
Right. Well, lately I've spoken to a friend. No, nobody would believe that I have friends. I spoke to Dot, and she suggested that I tell you the stories, and that would help you remember. And she is correct, of course. And I can't believe I didn't put two and two together. So would you like me to tell you the story of how we met?
Switches from his tree form back into more humanoid form. I've been trying to tell you. Memories only exist through stories.
Well, you didn't tell me up until like 2 hours ago.
Fair. Tell me a story then.
I'll tell you a story then. She'll sit down. I like to think there's like candlelight on the table. And I know some people that might be watching the show don't know the story, so I'm gonna tell an abridged version of it. But she'll talk about her own sire and that she met you the night that I murdered him. I was quite tired of this shit. So I poisoned the bastard. I decapitated him and then I burned down his house. When we met, you had appeared in the garden of the house. I believe you mentioned you had seen me rip his head off. And then I came out and the building started going ablaze. And I looked around and you were there. Kneeling in front of the house. I mean, I almost killed you, but To be honest, I didn't know who you were.
They were justified. Your actions.
According to you, yes.
My daughter was gone. I was different.
Yes, that was a different time.
I am a person of justice, so the only reason I came to you was because you were justified in your actions, regardless how common practice sees it. It's the reason I came here, because you still seek a justice.
I suppose.
Whose justice am I enacting? Yours or mine?
Well, I don't know. I merely agreed to help Zeek and Dot, and it has involved me now. Why did you agree? What justice are you looking for?
Puts the mug down with the Christmas tree on it. The answer to this, I suppose?
The answer's name is Harker.
I gathered that much.
She was all right.
What is this? As he produces a small black mote. It's been sitting in my soul for some time. It's not mine. Is it hers?
A black moat.
Human souls are not the lily white people paint them out to be. They can be, but you have to be basically living off the grid away from society.
Oh, well, okay, that makes sense. Well, you did share her humanity at one point.
Oh, he smushes it. Gross humanity as he pushes it back into his chest.
It's gone now. She doesn't have any left, I'm sure.
Stuck in me. That's why, I suppose.
No, she has no humanity left because she split her soul, gave half to the devil, and locked away the other half. All because she wanted to get back a sister that was already lost to madness.
All right.
I don't know what justice you seek, but the only justice I seek out is to kill that part of her.
I
Or
recall my justice is your justice, and other way around.
there's one possibility if you get to reunite the two parts and send the devil back to hell. Which is simply just letting her live with the consequences of her actions.
Whatever you define it as, my task is clear. I'm at your side.
Please, we're always at my side.
He just smiles and kisses her head.
Aw.
I never forgot that.
Good. Now.
I'm gonna go put fireflies in Zeke's room.
All right. Please make sure you don't get stuck in another circle again. Or do. I won't get you out that time though.
He just has a devious smile. I know what I'm going to do. As he bounds away.
Okay. Shall we cut to what the morning brings for Zeek?
Yeah.
Beltane? Well, let us know what if it's something he awakens to, or
There in his room when he wakes to, there's just a shit ton of fireflies in his room that spell out, "Hello, Zeke. We've been waiting for you."
like blinking like a broken neon sign. So
Yeah.
like there's some of them just flashing, and then as Zeke kind of wakes up, he just sees these like fireflies, and then all of a sudden it comes into blink sync, where it's like, what did you say? Good morning, Zeke.
Yeah.
Good morning, Zeke.
He probably like looks at it, rubs his eyes a little bit, and thinks, like, if anything, just like, oh, there's a shit ton of bugs in my room. I wonder why that is. Reading may not be his strong suit. As so, like, having a message spelled out, he doesn't see the words. Like, he knows that, like, there are letters. But, like, in his perspective, it's like, it's probably just Beltane. Like,
right.
Of course the bugs. Like, that dude's always talking about bees or setting things on fire. Like, why wouldn't he get bugs to spell something out for me?
All right. So rather unflappable over the neon sign of fireflies.
He's just like, this might as well happen. This house is fucking weird.
One thing, real quick, housekeeping wise, for your wonderful flashback, Lilith, you get one what the game calls juice, which I hate. I hate that. We are going to call it hold.
You get
you have one. You have one
smoothie.
Yeah, exactly. I got a whole bunch of juice. No, it's not happening. So yeah, basically you got one hold, something you can spend later to add a bonus to
Story tags.
whatever.
One juice.
Yep, one juice. Okay. So you brush away the fireflies, or once the joke is over, they are like, "Aw, it didn't freak him out," and the fireflies kind of whirl around, and then they just kind of do they blink out in fairy dust, or do they actually fly away?
I think they all just start following Zeke around the house.
All right, blinking. He's got this little Christmas tree lights, dancing lights, basically following along.
Are you telling me that Zeke awoke and could not believe his eyes because 10,000 fireflies were in his room?
Well, actually, he did believe it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, never mind.
Yeah.
But did he get 1,000 hugs from 10 million lightning bugs?
Not if he could help it. He would have like started just like squashing them against him if he could.
Oh God!
Just like, no,
Right.
Just start hearing gunshots from his room. Like, get the fuck off me!
Zeke would solve a bug problem by shooting at it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like he would end up like going into the kitchen and like passing by one of the servants, like, you got a bug problem. Like,
and it's all the bugs are following.
It's just like a swarm behind him. Just like,
And they're kind of looking, and they follow you to go by, and then they stay. They're sticking with you, so they're just kind of like, huh. And they're going to try to do something about it because they want Lilith to be happy, and that's probably not going to make Lilith happy, but they also don't know what to do about magic fireflies.
yeah, I don't really know. That's not my problem.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, the fireflies are like following you. Beltane, after a while, they kind of break off and disseminate. Zeke, you have a stirring. I'm going to say we see Zeke with his black coffee, and he's swirling it around in his coffee cup, and you get this. It's almost like a moment of like vertigo or something. You're seeing this swirl in this black coffee, and there seems to be depths to the black and to the swirl in the coffee. And as you're looking at it, you just, it's this, you kind of get the hackles, the hairs on the back of your neck. We get that kind of scene, and you just hear that ghostly woman's voice that you have heard before, and it's just sort of a whisper in your ear. It's almost like a cold breath upon your earlobe and the nape of your neck here, and it just says something along the lines of I need to give you a clue in this statement, so I can't just be ominous. It says something like, though I cannot see you at the moment, I'm always with you. You will be mine.
I feel like Zeke sort of like squints a little bit, and then like as he's like right hand coffee cup, just like giving some sippies, he's just sort of like looking at his left hand, the star touched one, and just sort of like not in the like he's too high being like hands are fucking crazy, man, but like more of the like he's obviously lived with this hand as long as he can remember, which is a good thing. But if there's like anything different, or if the light's catching it in a strange way, like that sort of thing, more just like thinking about what she said of her always being with him. And then like once coffee finishes, he's like pressing at the sides like of the muscles of his hand, like, is there anything like weird and hard in there that I should be worried about? Is this gonna be like is there like a brief field med checkup on his own hand? Because like he hasn't done it since the train.
Yep. Let's see.
Yeah, did I get chipped? It's a very good way of putting it.
Yeah, let's I'm actually gonna I want to roll on this, so let's call it a face danger, because resist malign influence is in there, and the MC tag and tier. All right, so yes, it is your star touch status.
Okay.
Roll plus power.
Okay. The powers I would like to use are survival of the fittest. In that, like, he's doing his own brief medical checkup. DIY guru. Because again, like he's used to not having a medic on hand, but he knows very well, like, if a bone in his own body is broken, like, okay, how do we fix that? Like, and then to top that off, self-reliant.
All right, and then we're gonna take away we're gonna tag your weakness. The
overlook details.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I would like it's the opposite of dots. So
that's a +2 then.
2, yes.
That'd be a total of 9.
All right. Okay. So in this case, instead of minusing 1 to the status, or -1 tier to the status. On a miss, you would take the full status. We're going to say that it doesn't go away, but you become more aware of it, and it clicks in your head that this warding, the warding of the castle, is helping you. It is protecting you from their sight. You not being really aware of magic, you understand that is indeed.
It's helpful, but I'm not super sure as to like I know what the end is and I know what the beginning is, but as far as like that middle part, just like I don't know. It's good for me to be here.
You get the idea that something could be done to hide you. Like the warding and the things are you don't quite get them like, oh yeah, if they were to, if I were to get a tattoo of the right rune from these guys, magic versus magic, you don't really, that doesn't click, but there's something nagging in your mind that you're like, all right, you're sure she can watch you because of this. There should be something you can do about that, short of cutting off your own arm.
That was an option that I was thinking about.
Mm-hmm. So,
no, I think, because Beltane is usually the first person down in the morning. I feel like Zeek has like just gotten done investigating this and just, hey Beltane, I got a question.
Mhm.
Is building usually so full of bugs?
Oh, only fireflies.
Oh, this is the first time I've ever seen them. Let alone so many.
As like 2 or 3 bees are circling around Beltane.
I'll keep that in mind. They're not like your kids or something, because I may have crushed a few.
You're cursed now, I'm afraid.
Shit. Well, it's just how it happens to be. Speaking of curses, I was thinking about it, and well, I was making my coffee earlier today, and then
That's your curse.
What? No, coffee's fine. You guys just put a little bit of hair on your chest. That's what it'll do. Now, when I was on the train and I met Dot and we encountered those spirit forces or what have you, one of them inflicted some hurt on me. I will admit that. And ever since then, it's felt like I have like a lingering thing. It's not like an external like cut or a wound, but I feel like there's something that's not right in my left hand. So I was after all the shenanigans that we had, and after seeing so many left hands missing the rest of their bodies in the trunk of those cars yesterday, it got me thinking that maybe I should do a little bit more investigating on myself. And as I was thinking about that, well, I heard a spooky woman saying something about her always watching me and knowing where I am. And honestly, the first time I heard it, I thought, okay, maybe I should lay off the sauce a little bit. But like, this was first thing in the morning. This was coffee time. I had not even had the opportunity to make it a little bit spicier, if you know what I'm saying. And so I'm wondering, or at least I'm thinking, that she might, spooky voice lady, I'm going to call her Ghost Gal for now. I'm thinking the Ghost Gal might be able to know where I am by my arm. So I'm wondering, Miss Lilith told you, or has told you yet, about how you made this castle not able to be seen, or how it's been like obscured, because like why the fuck else are we sleeping here? Like, going to town, sleep there. And Lilith's like, oh, you'll never be able to find my big castle in the middle of the woods on top of a mountain near a spooky mansion. I feel like those are pretty clear directions, but apparently that's not the case. So has Lilith told you about the means and methods with which one would be able to hide something as large as that, but more centralized on a person?
You're asking a Fae if they can hide something.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what I'm doing. Do you know how I would be able to do that? Is it gonna be like, is it gonna involve me like bathing in honey or something? Because it does not work with the beard. I'm just saying.
No, it's actually pretty simple. Give me your hand.
All right. He extends lefty.
So he takes out a marker and draws the evil eye and circles it and crosses it out. You're hidden. Puts it back.
Just okay. And it's what if I get water on this and the marker wears off? Like, am I going to be unhidden again? What if I sweat really hard from eating a lot of meat and drinking a lot of coffee?
Do you want me to tattoo it on you?
Well, I don't think I have time for that. I also don't know if I
Give
necessarily. No, I'll keep it for right now, and we'll see how effective it is in the long term. I don't want to commit to something that I'm not gonna like later. I got to think about it for a little bit before dedicating myself to a tattoo.
He reaches in his bag and hands you a little doll that is blindfolded, and then takes it back, writes your name on it, marks the hand on it, and gives it back. There.
What, do you have like 1,001 weight? Like, am I just gonna wake up one morning surrounded by bugs and it turns out I'm in your pocket or something, and then like that's how well I've been hidden?
Do you want to be?
No, I just want to not have ghost gal spying on me when I'm trying to drink coffee and mind my own goddamn business.
Oh, here. Gives you an iron dagger. There you go. That should cover most of the bases.
So if I feel her spying on me, do I just like stab where I think the vision is coming from, and then that's good? I have a pistol. That seems more effective than a dagger.
No, dagger's more of a traditional sense, and the doll is more for protection sense, and the drawing is for the modern age bullshit that people are doing. So it covers the past, present, and future.
What's next? You're gonna hand me a poem and tell me to recite it when I get scared?
I mean, I can.
No, I don't want that.
All right, Beltane, please roll plus whatever you got for magic powers.
Don't fuck me. I have just the thing, an ancient history, so 10.
Okay.
It's a bit more easier to detect.
Okay. So I'm gonna say that Zeek, you have 2 juice that I hate to hold. To hold that basically you can use to block your star touched.
All right.
2 juiced, 2 furious. That was good.
I think Beltane thinks for a moment, then pulls out a flower crown, and he just hands it to Zeke. This will definitely protect you.
I'm not wearing it.
Do you want to be hidden?
Yes. But not like that. I feel like people will think I'm a little bit more out than hidden if I wear something such as that.
I mean, it's the highest
Happy
protection.
Bi Visibility Day, everyone.
Happy Bi Visibility Day.
I mean, you could just, wear it around your neck or your waist. It's a really good belt.
I'm gonna try the first 3 things that you offered me and see if they work first before I put on the flowers.
It'll keep the fireflies away.
I don't mind them. Honestly, I don't have very many back where I'm from, so seeing them is kind of nice.
I'll put more in your room tomorrow.
No, that's... how about this?
Jetpacks are good idea, Zeek.
No.
You are full of them.
No,
Thanks for breakfast.
Thank you. That was mine. Like, I feel like Beltane is just walking away with the plate of food that Zeek had made for himself. And just, like, maybe, like, 3 or 4 tops. No hundreds. That's...
100,000, got it.
He just takes a deep sigh and then looks at, like, this armful of shit that Beltane just handed to him. Like, looks at, like, the eye that's on his forearm now and, like, hey, Bookie. And, like, he talks to, like, calling one of the servants, like, get me one of them, like, scribble sticks and then a piece of parchment. I want to try something.
Sorry, scribble stick?
Yeah, a pen.
Oh, sorry, I thought I was muted. I'm like, Zeek, you're a cowboy. You know what a pencil is.
Yeah, he has his own colloquialisms. Funny that.
All right. Yeah, someone brings to you a notepad and a pencil.
Yeah, he's just gonna like practice drawing what's on his arm, so that way if he's in a situation where Beltane isn't there and like it washes off, he at least can like learn the right thing to slap on his arm just in case.
All right.
Zeek, what are you doing?
I am in the middle of a very very important experiment.
All right.
Beltane was asking me earlier about whether or not okay. Ever since I was on the train, there was a spooky woman sound that I've been hearing, and it's been a bad time. So after hearing the spooky woman sound, I decided, all right, maybe this isn't the proper time because it's breakfast.
And we cut to you were finishing that story. Yeah. And
Beltane
Lilith
gave me a bunch of shit, so that way I couldn't be perceived.
And that's symbols one of them.
It's this. He said something about a poem. There was a flower bracelet, belt, hat loop. There is a doll. There's a knife. And at that point, I just got curious. Like, I'm 1, better with a hatchet than I am a knife. 2, I have guns. There's no reason for me to have a knife. If I'm going to be that close quarters combat with somebody, I might as well just shoot him in the gut and walk away.
Darling, you only need the symbol. Everything else is just for shits and giggles.
That's what look. Have you tried telling him to stop when he gets on a roll? And how does that work out for you, Lilith? Do you wind up with just armfuls of useful things? I don't want to call them useless because honestly, I don't know which one of these works and which ones doesn't. He could be fucking with me on all accounts.
No, darling, the symbol works. Why don't you just have it stitched onto your clothing?
That's a much better idea.
You do know he's a tailor, right?
He seemed really on board to tattoo it on me, and that's why I was like a little pensive about the whole thing.
May I borrow your jacket?
And this isn't going to be like, oh, this means Faye for go fuck yourself or something, right?
No, darling.
All right.
Oh, it's soup.
May I borrow your jacket?
Good soup. Yeah, you can hear.
I'm gonna have a in-house tailor that I have the symbol stitched onto it, okay?
Yeah, I guess. Thank you.
Alright. You have a good morning.
I've been
Better than
trying to
that.
have one, but you have a bug problem?
No, I don't.
No, you do. There was at least several hundred lightning bugs in my room when I woke up.
Must have been Beltane.
Of course it was. He also took my breakfast.
I like to think one of the servants just places a new plate of breakfast at that moment.
It's not the same. Made that myself.
Next time, just steal his breakfast.
He didn't have any. He walked down, started handing me shit, and next thing I knew, he walked away. Is this like a contract?
No. But you probably had your arms full and couldn't grab your breakfast. Anyway, if you're around him long enough, you'll understand.
It's Zeek, the whiny cowboy.
I'm trying to be whiny. I'm so
I know. I just love it.
completely too much going on.
All right. So I want to sneak in a little something before we hit break here. So, Lilith, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I want to say you and Biggie talk.
Yeah.
He gives you the address. Do you say anything to Biggie about Dot? That's the big takeaway from you talking to Biggie that I want to hit before we.
No, because Dot hasn't said that she can, and that is Dot's story to tell, and her secret to reveal to him.
And that's just why I wanted to hit on that. So it's it's basically it's just an info drop. We didn't need to play out. If you wanted to say something about it, then
Yeah.
we went to the Biggie phone. All right. So okay, good. Let's then so you don't drop any daughter bombs on Biggie. Dot. Let's come back to you. Let's go ahead and hit break, and then we'll come back with Dot.
Excellent. So we are going to be going into our break for the evening. We're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome. We have returned from our break. I hope that you are all having an enjoyable time so far, because I know that I am. GB, take us away.
All right. As we come back in, I want to say that Dot, you had been looking in your Grimm's book and other such books last evening, and is Dot one to have prophetic dreams?
Yeah, I think so. She could. Yes.
All right.
Yes, 100%. Because we had decided that her mom has some divining abilities, and I can 100% see her having yes.
All right. So
do it. Just do whatever you're gonna do.
All right. So, and we'll cue it up like it's kind of like a theme for the episode sort of thing, where Zeek was stirring his coffee. We see Dot digging into some breakfast with reckless abandon, as it were. What is Dot having for breakfast? Because she didn't werewolf out or anything. So is she pancake, pigs in a blanket, mega burrito? Is that normal for Dot? Or
I mean, it's probably not a huge breakfast. Yeah, I think that having not wolfed out, it's still a large breakfast, but it's not as enormous as it would have been if she had used all that energy. I'll say a really big omelet.
okay,
Just plate-sized omelet.
all right. And as Dot rips into it with the fork, we hear kind of a snarling noise, like a low growl, and it's not in the environment. It's sort of an transposed over this scene of this omelet, and the fork hits it, and it like tears the meat of the omelet, and then we get like a close up of Dot's teeth, and and then this snarling noise as she's just chewing an omelet, and it's just Dot chewing an omelet, but we're hearing this like we've got this close up of the muscles in her jaws, and this there's a growling, snarling, tearing noises, and then we just go boop, and it's just Dot eating omelet and just being Dot, and in it for a minute her senses, like her heart starts to beat. She hasn't had any coffee yet or whatever, and for a moment it's almost, you almost have that anxiety that she's going to wolf out right at the table. She's just suddenly feels that. Where's your silver object?
It's in her hand. Like, she tied it to her hand.
Okay, so it's still tied to your hand. So as you get that anxiety that you feel like you're just gonna like beast out at the table, you like clench around the silver, and you're like, suddenly it gets down, and we hear the like growl kind of fade. What do you do, Dot?
Yeah, I think that it's just like one of those moments where like you hear the heartbeat go like thump, thump, and like it like zooms in on her face, and there's like the clatter of the fork dropping onto the plate, and then she like looks to check that the silver is there, and she just kind of like grips it with both hands, and she like sits there and calms herself down for a bit.
Is anyone else at the table?
Yeah, Zeek is, because he was having breakfast and then it got stolen, so he had to get a second breakfast.
All right.
And I
Sounds
feel like
about-
he's sort of like looking at Dot, like it's like all this is happening to Dot, and then the camera just sort of like pans over a little bit, and Zeek was like just out of frame for most of this. Then just like looks and like puts a whole piece of bacon, like right before he puts a whole piece of bacon in his mouth, just, all right, you're switching to decaf for today.
She like looks up at him, like the whatever this wolf attack has like passed. And she looks up at him like, and then just sort of narrows her eyes and says, "I got heartburn." She like just snatches up her plate and like stalks away with it. Doesn't take the fork with her. She's gonna eat it with her hands.
Like, so he probably like mutters to himself like as she's leaving, just one of those like just like making like a quick side comment about the pig in a blanket atrocity that she made yesterday. It's like, yeah, no fucking wonder you got heartburn. I've seen what you eat. Like,
all right. Unless there's anything else, we're gonna jump to the evening.
yeah, I don't think that Zeke didn't have anything else that he was getting ready for in the day. I don't think.
All right. Okay. We get to the evening, and how do Zeke and Dot travel?
I think that if they were all like, they were probably all in the car to begin with. And then just like, hey, drop us off at this point. We can walk the rest of the way.
Beltane will say, "Okay." Kind of leans over, opens the door for Dot, then looks to Zeke, opens the door for him. Have fun. Wave.
And then he'll pause right before and say, wait, before we go. So it's this mark or whatever that makes it so that way people won't be able to give us the old lookaroo.
Yes.
Can you do that on dot? Just in case. I mean, we are like breaking into somebody's house. I'd prefer that we not have even that level of visibility about us.
Give me your hand, Dot.
Palm up.
And there's a sprouting of flowers, and it forms the evil eye, crosses it out, and a neat little bracelet is formed. There you go.
Thanks, Belle.
No
Hops to the
problem.
car. Shuts the door.
Okay.
All right. Now, I just want to say before we go in there, I am going to try and be more conscientious of if we encounter anything that causes you to wolf out, that I will do my best to not shoot you on sight.
I appreciate that. I'm going to do my best to not make that a necessity. And I will also try very hard not to come after you.
Well, see, I also tried really hard to not shoot you last time, and then that definitely didn't happen. So let's just both do our best to be on equal footing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. I think we're past trying at this point. We just got to do.
That's good thinking.
There is
and so then the camera swings behind them, and we look at it kind of comes up, and we expect to see like the haunted mansion and lightning and all that, but it's the music swells, and then it's just suburbia, just a 1940s house, a nice house, but just like a 1940s house. And then we cut away, and we see the Rolls Royce pulling up at the what was the name of the restaurant? Too many games.
Nope. That's not a note for that. That's not a note for that. That's an empty notebook. That's just numbers. I don't know what I was doing there. I don't have it. I moved my desk last week.
Yeah, I don't. It's I've written too many notes on these two pieces of paper.
Blue whale.
Blue whale, yes.
Yep. That's a Dark Shadows callback for you.
Yeah, nice, awesome. Okay, we see the Rolls Royce pull up in front of the blue whale. Beltane, do you get out and let Lilith out, or is that something you have forgotten?
No, he's still a gentleman and a person who adheres to manners regardless of his memory. And he'll get out and open the door for Lilith and say, "You look beautiful as ever."
Thank you. I know I do.
And there's a little, a red cap, but not a gnome murderer, a valet there who, is waiting to take your keys and go park your vehicle.
Beltane will look at him. No, takes the keys with him.
Your car is just sitting right there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay. The Rolls is just going to sit under the portico. Okay, I love it.
He has manners, but he's very snobby about his manners.
Right. And he's like, boo. And as he goes to say something like, "You can't do that," we see a firefly go into his mouth, and he's like, and he coughs out a firefly. It's like, looks like that's weird, and then just kind of forgets the situation. You guys enter the Blue Whale. It's on the waterfront. It's dark outside. We see the lights of the harbor and that kind of thing through the massive bay windows. And by the windows. Dr.
Radsman.
Radsman. There it is. Dr. Radsman. Okay.
Got a nose for him, you see.
That's right. So he stands up. He's dressed very nice. There's wine on the table and candles and such, and you can see that he, glances at Beltane and looks a little disappointed. Because that's why I called it a date earlier, because from the doctor's point of view, he thinks this is a date. And so, which I love.
My archfey and I noticed you across the bar, and we couldn't help.
Exactly.
It
So
happened in a different campaign. Ask Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah. Yeah, exactly. And so he motions to the chairs and says, "I'm kind of embarrassed, but I never got your names."
My name is Emily.
Hello, Emily. Nice to finally meet you. And
Of course.
takes your hand, and
He pulls out a chair for Lilith and scoots her in. Mr. Hawthorne.
Mr. Hawthorne. Well, thank you both for coming. Yes, I hope you don't mind the table, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's like the table to have in the restaurant. Like I said, it looks out over the harbor and whatnot. And and he says, I took the liberty of choosing a wine for table drinking, and then we can with food. And he offers to pour.
Thank
Oh,
you.
no, let's me, good doctor. After
Okay.
all, this is us wooing you, as he pours the wine.
And he smiles, little bit of blush in the cheek. And I'm going to say, there's a little bit of small talk. You order some food. You guys know I love these kind of details. So what do you order? Then now it's a seafood specialty, but it's upper end, probably a 4-star kind of place.
Oh, there goes my plans for rare steak.
I want it. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. You could, because it's upper end. You could definitely. But yes, I want to see how Lilith handles the.
I'll have steak. Rare. Thanks.
A very good choice, ma'am.
Thank
you. And it's like the steak choices were basically like New York strip, filet mignon. And that's those are the only 2 steaks on the menu, kind of thing. Hawthorne, Mr. Hawthorne.
I think he'll order the Sweetheart Supper, a very nice kind of crab and rice dish.
Okay.
Lobster.
Excellent. Alrighty. And the doctor himself does indeed order it's a lobster dish, but it's like they pulled the meat out, they mixed it with other stuff, and then re-baked it, like a twice baked lobster kind of thing. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but anyway, wine choices with that and whatnot. Big dinner. I'm gonna say that you guys have any clues to spend?
Well,
It-
Beltane has.
I
Okay.
have a juice.
Okay, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna give it as a clue. You guys see that absent-mindedly with like his right hand, he just keeps tracing a square on the table.
Lilith would have told Beltane what she found the night before, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, Doctor, I must say I am impressed with your credentials, which is why we're here in the first place. Now, believe it or not, some of the military upper branches have been dealing with some unusual types of remedies. Things that most would not think of or believe it's nothing but myth, smoke and mirrors, right?
Hmm.
But it's not true. Call it the unseen, call it magic, call it whatever you will. There are things beyond our knowledge, beyond our comprehensions that we can wield. I was wondering, what were your thoughts on that? Do you think it myth?
Well, I had heard from colleagues that Hitler's scientists were looking into occult remedies and folklore magics, as it were, but everyone knows that magics are just science that doesn't have proper names.
Possibly, yes. Science that has not been explained yet. I like your answer.
Hmm.
Would you be willing to say these magics were real, that these scientists were able to achieve what they look for? Would you be a man willing to cross that threshold into the unknown?
Well, I that was what I did in academia. You know, you're always pushing the boundaries, always looking for something new. I mean, and had the Native Americans not chewed the bark of the aspen tree, we wouldn't have aspirin, as it were. So, yes, I would be quite willing to look into anything. I mean, if there's new science to be found, that's the new frontier.
I like you better and better by the moment, Doctor. Just gonna give Beltane a look and like a quirk eyebrow.
He's just been listening to this, kind of tilting his head more and more to the side as the doctor talks, and he's just, magics that are science, as he pulls out what looks to be a dead flower and places it on the table and draws his hands across it, and it's suddenly a living, growing flower.
You would expect that, that would, shake, rattle, and roll most people. And it's more like it's more like you've not startled a dog, but you've made an animal wary. It's more of a, I hate to say it, but fascinating, the Spock eyebrow kind of thing. Yeah. And he's like, Well, I see that obviously there's much to learn in this new position then too. Not only bringing my own expertise to the table, but possibly, I mean, revivification that's of plant matter. That's fabulous.
All these secrets can be yours, Doctor, if you want to work with us.
Well, I mean, sign me up. He's trying to act gracious,
You'll be the star of the world.
I will say, I was hoping that you had already delved a bit into these matters, but that's nothing we can't work with it if you're still unaware of certain things, of course.
Well,
I mean, not everyone has the time or the courage to learn these things out by themselves, of course. But rest assured that we will teach you what we can.
I'll also see what I can bring to the table. And the square he'd been tracing with his fingers as he spoke, he used his professor hands and everything, but then as he says we'll see what I can bring to the table, and he taps in the square twice with his middle finger. And I'm just gonna say, Beltane, you can feel the magic. It's residual, and you don't think he was actually casting a spell or placing a rune, but you could just feel the magic. It felt of a high place and a starry night, a bit of cold, that one could only get at a special time of like, I'm going to say that it's almost there in your mind, and you can almost see back to it, like you've been there, or the place that this feel is from, but you can't quite get it. And as we see this like starry night and this mountain and all, it becomes the night sky over the suburban dark house, and we're back to the backs of Zeek and Dot. Zeek and Dot standing in the street. What do you do?
So we're standing in the street. I'm guessing we're in front of this dude's house.
Yep.
Just sort of like looking around, seeing if anybody is like, not like obviously like doing a wide scope, being a little bit more coy about it, but like seeing if people are around, if anyone is like out and about, like doing house chores, what have you. Does this dude, I imagine it's a doctor house. And when I say a doctor house, I mean he has a front yard and then like a side gate that leads into a backyard.
And then an attached garage.
Yeah.
So like house, gate, garage, they're just a little off.
Yeah.
So the garage sits just a little back, and then there's the fence between that encompasses the whole backyard.
So I think if anything, Zeek would want to go through the backyard and not just like strut up, try the front door, see if that's open. Like this dude might, like, if they break in a back window, it's going to draw a lot less attention than like breaking in the front one and then opening the lock that way.
As you look up and down the street, you and and I have to say this in the creepiest way. You see all the houses and the bay windows, the front windows are all like blinking in unison as the televisions in the living rooms obviously are showing the same show.
Oh, that's fun.
And how many televisions are there?
Well,
or in the neighborhood, it is.
Yeah. It's not the doctor's house is dark, but almost all the other houses in the neighborhood, you see the TV flashing in the living room against the curtains, the closed curtains. But the flashes are still there, and they're synchronous.
Must be a good show.
I mean, there's only like 5 out there right now.
So, as a side note, there's only 3 channels.
Yeah, no, like, chances are, like, yeah, it probably is a good show, but what we need to worry about more, specifically anyways, is, like, as he's saying that, like, do you think all the people around here are all people, like, he's brought back? And we're going to have to worry about, like, if we break into his house, then, like, the neighborhood committee's going to come at us.
No clue. But if we get past them, I don't think we'll have to worry about it.
Noted.
Listen, our job is to get in here without anybody noticing.
Well,
to deal with anybody, we aren't doing our job right.
If anybody asks...
She's gonna crick her neck and just hop the fence.
Yeah, he'll say, like, is there a latch?
and yes, there's a latch.
Cool. It's just like open it for him, and he walks in, closes it. Like, it doesn't need to be 2 people jumping a fence if there's a way in.
Dot is going to look for any sort of wards or magical protections.
Oh, well, let's give me an investigate, shall we?
I will. And I will use one of my juice.
All right.
For this. And then I'm also going to use Book of Monsters, Eye for Details, and I'll even say Wolf's Instincts.
Sounds good.
Seven, so that makes it 11.
Excellent. All right. Were you +3 or 4?
I was +4.
All right. All right. You got 4 questions and no downsides.
All right, cool. What is the best way to get into this place?
Second story windows.
Okay. Is there any magical wards on this house?
There is. You find that even the couple of basement windows, the squares of the windows have been, you don't know what it is, but your senses, you see like a blur. It's almost like somebody took Vaseline or something and has taken panes of glass. Each pane of glass has been outlined is a square, and then there's sigils inside the square.
Okay. You said I get 4 questions?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, you can hold them too till you like get inside or such, if you'd like.
All right. I'm gonna hold on to those 2 remaining questions. The way this looks is that she like gets out her toolkit and pulls out just a bundle of sticks,
Mhm.
and she just twists them, and like this powder kind of like flies off of the sticks, and sort of floats towards the house, and like sort of it like glitter onto glue. It just sort of adheres to whatever wards are there.
Mhm.
And so Dot starts explaining, like, there are wards on that window, and that window. Looks like the entire first floor, including the basement, is warded. Best way is going to be through the second floor windows.
Yeah. Again, when you do the cat tails or the sticks or whatever the powder is, it's very obvious that the windows are latticed in a way that they form squares. The back door is latticed in a way, the window in the back door is latticed in a way that it forms these squares. So yeah.
All right. Zeke will nod. And he is going to try and climb up onto, if there's like, because if there's a back porch, that means that there's a little bit of an overcropping. So he's going to try and like hook himself up, using his nimble as a fox.
Yes. There's no point in rolling. It just looks cool.
Yeah.
He cowboy coat flying. We get the view of like, silhouette in the moon.
Frank Miller's Dark Knight Rises. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Oh yeah. No, same brain cell on that one, buddy. Like right there with you.
Awesome. Awesome.
And then he is going to reach down to offer to like help hoist Dot up.
Yep.
So that way she can get up there as well.
Raises her arms for like uppies, and then like hops up
All
to
right.
grab his arms, and like there's like a catch at the forearms, and he hikes her up there.
Like the uppies. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's all right. So you're on the back, the awning of the back porch. There does appear to be a window right there.
And the window doesn't have like the lattice formation or anything like that. It was just on the.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, these are bigger square, normal house windows.
Are they locked?
They would appear to be locked
Okay.
or painted shut. You can't quite tell.
Yeah. Probably painted shut, knowing the times.
Yeah. Okay. Dot is gonna get out one of them their like caulk paddles, and a hammer, and she's just going to like sort of slide it in there, and then just very gently like knock on the handle of the little caulk paddle. This thing has an actual name. I'm not saying it correctly, but she's basically just gonna kind of jimmy it under there, and like cut a line through the paint.
Yeah, the you're talking about the pressman's paddle where the steel plate would be, and you basically have like it's a paint scraper effectively, but you would take your ink and then you would smear it on the big metal plate for the printing press type thing. Is that kind of where you're at? Like a paint scraper sort of thing?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah.
If nothing else, she could use a screwdriver for this too.
Yep. But I like the idea that she has the printer's tools, so cool. So you tap open the swivel, the half moon swivel latch, and window opens.
All right.
Zeke will go in first, like pistol out, like just in case they see anybody. Obvious. Or I guess he'd have like the iron knife out that Beltane gave him, but like just as a general, like he has it up. It's not the really cool like dagger out. It's up and it's pointed outward, as is more effective when you're not in like initial melee combat.
All right.
But like other hand, like on the holster is sort of just like looking around in case there's any like shambling creature in the top floor being like, you're not supposed to be here.
Exactly. So there's a perfectly made bed. This is a bedroom. It doesn't appear to be the master bedroom, and it has a very pale green cover on the bed. It's hospital corners. It's meticulously clean. And there's a small not wardrobe, like a mirrored makeup table in the one side and a dresser. It's a 1940s bedroom. And the door would appear to be closed.
Zeke will go to open the door.
Okay. You open the door, and there is a door right across from it, and then the hallway goes to the right, and there's a set of stairs, and then there's a single door at the other end of the hallway. Oh, there is a door almost exactly at the top of the stairs, facing the stairs, that it's open, and you've been in enough houses that it's probably the bathroom.
Okay.
Ready to go? What do you do?
I'm gonna wait at the door, and if Dot, we need to go through each of the rooms.
Okay.
And
So-
make sure that we've covered our bases. We got to find this weird fucking book. And Zeke doesn't like the fact that like guest bedroom bed is like a hospital fit. Like he's hiding something. Clearly.
And so door straight across, down the hall to the other end, search the bathroom, or down the stairs.
Search the room that we're currently in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then go to the door directly across the way, and then just sort of like the closest one that we can find.
Okay. And like I said, the cover, the sheet cover was or the comforter, basically the top blanket was this like pale greenish. There's no closet. There is a dresser, but it's completely empty. The drawers, they don't stick, but there's no rollers. It's wood on wood.
It's wood on wood, and we live in a slight coastal town, so wood always swells whenever
exactly.
It's
so it gets
moist
that little
out.
bit of a squeak that like you guys kind of jump at. But there doesn't seem to be anything. Yep.
All right.
And the poor dresser has 6 new holes in it.
It just fucking shoots it. Zeke's got to stop solving all of his problems with a gun. We're going to slowly make our way through here and just like very systematically check every room.
Yep.
All right. So you go across to the other bedroom, the other small bedroom, and it's the same sort of setup. There seems to be a little table with a mirror, a dresser, and basically kind of like a single bed. The comforter on this bed is a kind of a red pink kind of comforter, and again, nothing but empty drawers and whatnot.
I'm beginning to think this guy doesn't even live here.
Yeah, what's a guy like this need with this many beds? There's only one of them.
Inpatience.
We check the next room.
All right. So you walk down the stairs, are on your left, and the open door to the bathroom is on your right. You search either of them, or you go into the door at the
I'll
end.
peek in the bathroom.
Okay. It's a 1940s bathroom, so the sink, it doesn't have a cabinet under the sink. It's just the sink in the wall.
Yep.
It's got a medicine cabinet. Straight across from that is the toilet, and then the bathtub shower, and the window in the bathroom is glass brick. And again, they're all squares. So there's 9 3x3 glass brick squares.
That looks familiar. So Dot's gonna pull out another bundle of those sticks, and she's gonna snap them again. She's gonna check this thing for magic. She'll use another one of her juice for that. I guess the question is, or what is that? Actually, she's gonna use her question, like another one of her questions.
Got it.
She's got one left.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
we'll do
Perfect.
that.
So, the glass bricks have like, I'm gonna say it this way, magic soap scum. Like someone has affected runes on them, but they've done it over and over and over again. Almost like a chalkboard, and then erased, and a chalkboard that's been erased and erased and erased over and over again.
Okay.
I need
Like if it was
Zeek.
like taking a shower, room gets steamy, just like, oh, I'll do these real quick kind of thing.
Yeah. That would be a solid assumption. Zeek, what are you doing whilst Dot is cracking sticks here?
We are on the second floor.
Yep.
And I'm assuming there's a stairwell or something, because you usually don't build a second floor with no way to get to the bottom floor.
The stairs are right there across from the bathroom door.
Yeah, I think he's probably like standing in the doorway, like door like slightly closed, like looking down at the basement, or like down the stairwell anyways, to like just like keeping an eye out. Like if anything comes up, he wants to be able to be like, we gotta fucking hide or whatever. Like just
all right.
Like if Dot's being the eyes in terms of investigating, he would rather like not fuck with that, because he's not good at investigating, but he is good at like making sure that nobody fucks with them.
Okay. All right. And Dot, as you're, doing the sticks thing and such, I need to figure out which one this is. Okay. As you're doing it, you like crack, and there's like, it's almost like a magical black light. You see that there's been blood, spots of blood in the tub, like not in the porcelain part, but you can see like there's what remains of a magically seen bloody handprint or two in the bathtub area, like on the tiles of the walls type thing. And there's some of this at the sink too. It's not necessarily in the bowl, but over the edges of the bowl where someone might not clean as well. You see these streaks of like blood. And then as the magic powder draws your eye up, you look into the mirror Hey, let's face some danger.
Oh no!
What do you have to avoid a malign influence?
Like mentally or
Yes,
physically?
it's magically.
Okay. All right. Well,
Sorry, I saw
I
you.
have ancient blood. Which
Okay.
is it's just like she has a an ancient and powerful bloodline, and magical influence. Oh God, um, I think that's one that's
Mhm.
that I've got. I'm looking at the rest of these and I've got nothing. I could probably argue for my bestial form or the fact that I'm terrifying if whatever influences coming over me, if it can be intimidated at all.
It cannot.
Okay, well that's fine.
In your I'm gonna say your bestial form doesn't count for this either.
Okay, what about my wolf's instincts?
I'll give you wolf instincts. That's
All right.
fine.
Those are the only ones that I can justify.
Tell you what, let's take away the wolf's instincts because you've already looked. But I'll give you the book.
Oh, okay. Book of Monsters?
Yeah.
All right. Ancient Blood and Book of Monsters. I think that could do it. I'm going to see if there's anything that I could take away from this. Yeah, I don't think there's anything here that could apply as a weakness.
Okay.
Like, yeah, okay. Let's do it. 7 plus 2 is 9.
Okay. All right. So Dot, as you're looking at these blood streaks, and then you see something has been drawn on the mirror, and you look up, and as you look at it, you look into your own eyes in the mirror, and you're like suddenly frozen in your own gaze, except you're looking at like dead, half rotted werewolf you.
Oh.
And that heartbeat comes back, and just doom 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 doom, and then it stops, and you just like your heart just stops. You kind of stumble backwards and kind of trip over the toilet. Does Dot slump down onto the closed toilet or fall into the bathtub?
She's gonna fall into the bath. Like, if I ever have a choice, it's gonna be the tub. I know there were dead bodies in there. I don't care.
That's why you picked the tub.
That's why you picked the tub.
All right. Okay. So yeah, you kind of trip over the toilet catches you in the back of the knee, and you kind of fall. And Zeek, you hear this, you turn, and Dot's falling into the bathtub.
Oh.
Only because you have preternatural speed am I going to allow you to take an action here.
Yeah, can I use one or both of my juice to just like, whoa there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that your power? Whoa there.
Whoa there.
No, my power, although it should be called whoa there. I actually like that. No, it is just super speed. So like as you're falling, he sees that like if I don't catch them, there's gonna be head trauma, and like I'm bad at looking for stuff, so like kind of need this person to like not have head trauma right now. So like it is just one of those like catches you like at like the shoulders, like a little bit underneath, like hooks underneath your side arm, picks up and just like, whoa there. Okay, you better watch your step first and foremost.
If you want to use both juice, I'm just going to let you catch her.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. All right. You
that way I don't
catch
have to
Dot.
worry about it anymore.
Yep.
It's
Okay.
for sheer laziness of future me.
It's awesome. I love it. All right. So yeah, Dot Zeke catches you before you can like tumble into the where there's been bodies or an amalgamation of parts of bodies. The image of the trunk monster pops into your skull. And you're like dangling over the tub. Zeke pulls you up.
Hey, whoa there. What, you like trip on some soap or something? Like, we gotta be
the mirror.
quiet.
The mirror.
What about the mirror?
She like fucking points at it.
He looks at the mirror.
Of course he does. Yes. Okay. All right. All right.
Say we were the smart people.
I know.
We are like the Three Stooges cat burglars kind of thing. Like,
that's the way I love it. Okay, so hey, let's resist a malign influence.
I'm historically great at this.
Oh my god.
All right. So, resist a malign influence.
Yeah, what do you got to go against magic?
To go against magic. So, 1, bullshit detector.
All right. Sure.
2, could I how do I want to say this? Could my weakness as hollow inside know that if it's like an image of himself that is reflected, he has had to take too many hard looks at the person who he is and who he's become to know the difference between what he would see in the mirror and himself. So could I possibly levy the usage of my weakness in this one moment as instead a power to resist this specific malign influence? Sure. Okay.
So yeah, but unfortunately, being star touched takes one of those away.
Okay, and so with that star touched as well, that's not like nothing happened because of my investigating that earlier, right?
Right.
Okay, cool.
Nope.
Just wanted to make sure.
Nope.
So I'm just getting +2 on this?
Nope, you are getting +1.
+1.
Because
gotcha.
1 got taken away because you are star touched, so you are susceptible to this magic.
Yeah. No, when I saw you holding up the 2 fingers earlier, because your thumb is trapped, locked in place because the cast, I was like, 3, clearly.
3. Gotcha.
All right. That's a total of 9.
All right. And on a 9, you take the status, but with a -1 tier. On a miss, you take the full status. All right. So you she's the mirror, and you like, of course, look, and there's this hollow self instant where you feel. Basically, for a brief moment, you see one of those Grim Reaper specters that you've seen before.
Yeah.
You see that in the mirror, and then you see you, and then you see you moon-skinned with a crown of stars. You're not dressed as a cowboy. You're in like a black purple robe.
Well, that doesn't seem like my style at all.
But it's you looking like that standing in this bathroom.
And I think Zeke so nothing bad happened, right? But like he's able to see this.
Yeah,
okay.
You're able to see this. Like I said, for a second you saw like you as a hollow shell Grim Reaper shade sort of thing.
Okay.
And then this other image pops
with
up.
With that in mind, for this mirror, is it one large mirror on a swivel, or is it like the 3 small mirrors that each one opens up to a middle part?
No, it's the old school built into the wall medicine cabinet.
Yeah.
So it's a chrome rimmed mirror that swings open.
I think that he is gonna like, it's gonna be one of those like he shifts to the side a little bit, like sees if the reflection follows him or like if it just like stays in place kind of deal. And then depending on, and like regardless of how that works out, he'll just like take the bottom of it.
Yep.
And then just like turn it so that way it's up against the wall.
All right. And so as you shift and shift, it doesn't move.
But is it like one of those like illusions where it just looks like it's looking at me regardless of where I'm moving?
Yes, it's looking at you, looking in this crown of stars, in this black purple robe. It's looking at you disappointed. And so as you lean and stuff, it just kind of frowns, you know. And then as you swing the mirror, it does the thing where the mirror is moving, but it's turning and staying looking at you.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in me too, buddy.
And as you swing it back, Dot, the mirror is coming for you. You see the reflections changing. It's moving along the wall. It's coming. You're going to see your own image again.
She ducks and just kind of covers her head.
All right.
What
and
has
as
gotten into you?
he swings the mirror open
We
and
knew
puts
this-
it against the wall.
We knew this place was going to be spooky as all get out. You see if weird shit in the mirror and lose your goddamn mind. Some burglar you are.
She kind of stands up and like, God, she's getting like real red in the face, and she just kind of like pops him in the shoulder, and she's like, "Come on, it's fine. Let's just go look somewhere else."
This guy got
And
any
as-
opium? Just like starts like looking through.
Starts
his medicine.
looking in his medicine.
It's a pretty normal medicine cabinet. You know, one of the twist open, you know, razors and such.
Has it got one of them like razor slots that like,
Yeah.
you poke the razor
Yeah,
in,
so,
and it just
like-
falls behind the wall?
Yeah, so somewhere behind this wall, there's probably hundreds of used razor blades.
That's horrifying. I didn't know that shit was in houses. Amazing.
Yeah, no, and like now
Yeah.
since they're super old, like people are
Yep.
like renovating their houses and just finding these big huge piles of rusty razors.
Yeah, it's
Some
insane.
ghost shit. Yeah.
Lived in one of those houses. Yeah, so like I said, as that happens, we see this very normal medicine cabinet, and we switch over to so basically we're looking at, you know, this white whatever, and then it kind of fades into like a napkin, and
Like, it just like zooms in on the medicine cabinet, and as
Yeah.
you go past all of the medicines, like it just like goes into the actual dining room.
yep.
Oh.
Yeah. So then we get the white tablecloth kind of or napkin kind of thing put down in the lap at the restaurant. You know, you guys have finished up your meal, and
For the audio transition, it's while Zeke's like fucking around with the medicine bottle, so it has that like glass on glass clinking noise.
yeah, nice. And the shelves in the medicine cabinet
Yes.
are little plates of glass, basically.
Yes,
Yes.
I love it.
So
I got there.
So now we're in the restaurant with the two of you. The meal has gone past. Checking time. So the meal has finished, and Dr. Radsman says, so I mean, I'll have to, you know, tidy up my affairs here. Where is the facility located?
We're thinking about Washington, D.C.
Washington
might
area.
take you sometimes to Nevada, in the desert sometimes, certain experiments, but your travel will be paid for.
Well, when do you need me to start?
About the opening is up for about 2 weeks from now. I hope that gives you enough time to tidy things up around here, yes?
I will indeed make it happen.
You will be hearing from our people soon. We'll send you all the important information that you will need for this transition to happen, yes?
Hold on. Really? Okay, she's safe. She's been in the rafters this whole time. So yeah, so he says, well, thank you. And he, puts his hand out to shake, and the little, and then Beltane,
He just full on grasps his hands and says, we'll look forward to seeing you work. And pulls it in closer. Make sure everything's cleaned up here. Your zombie problem is a bit of an issue.
Awesome.
His hand.
Awesome. I want to put a roll to this. So let's call that.
Would I be able to help him, like, give a very knowing look at this man as Beltane says this?
Yeah. So let's look at there isn't really, let's call it a just a second. Clear shot and use. I want to call this a hit with all you've got. So
Okay.
except instead of being like physical or whatever, like these are anything you might have that you believe fits into this kind of it's almost like an intimidation. So it should be a convince, but I want to say this reaches into a level of like a magic on magic sort of situation. You can feel that cold starry mountain when you grip his hand and you try to exert your fey will. So yeah, when you have a clear shot and use your abilities, let's see, roll plus power.
Okay. Roll plus power. What is my power? Jesus.
I know you got some magic in there somewhere.
Yes. Probably penetrates magical ward / world. Whatever you want to use there.
Sure.
Or trustworthy appearance, and twisting it so that's trustworthy. You know that you are in danger. Like,
okay.
You trust that.
Sounds good.
And I say that is resting at a 9.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
Oh, if Lilith is helping.
Oh yes, Lilith wanted to help in that. Let's see. That is when you change the game, when you use your abilities to give yourself or your allies advantage, roll plus power.
Okay.
So that's Lilith rolling.
Okay.
And
so what do I roll? Plus sheet. Sorry.
Whatever you have that would be, charm or intimidation.
I have hypnotic trance.
Perfect. Sounds good. So.
Okay.
Roll plus 1.
10.
Perfect. All right. On a hit, you get. All right. So, Beltane, you are plus 1 on your roll.
Okay.
Let's see. Or or you can burn this to create a tag or remove a tag.
So by itself is a 9.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'll just use the +1 to push it to a 10.
Perfect. All right. So you have hit him with all you got for a 10. On a 10, choose 2. Do you have the chart there?
Maybe.
I got him right here. You
Okay.
want him in the which chat would you like them in here?
Monster Noire is fine.
All right. Let's go. Yeah, and so what, because you're going to inflict him with a status plus this stuff. So what is the outcome of you giving this revelation? Like, we know you make zombies. Are you?
I think it's more of clean up your shit sort of thing. We're not cleaning it up after you. This is part of the deal. Like, we can work together or we could be enemies. This is your chance to be friends with us.
All right. So basically, get the damn zombies out of this town.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So clean up your shit is the tag you put upon the doctor. I will write that down because that's damn hilarious. Clean up your shite. Okay. And then you get your choices. I will print this over in chat just in case somebody wants to see it. Okay. Oop. And you get 2.
I'll probably you gain the upper hand, so I'll take 1 juice/hit.
Perfect.
And control collateral damage. And so in case he fucks us over, I can steer it away from us.
Perfect. I love you, Endor. Okay. All right. You get your sippy. Okay, focus. Back on the thing. There's a moment of like that cold. He almost emits that mountainous starry cold, and then reins it back in as he realizes that you're like, yeah, we know you're, a necromancer or whatever, but we're the government, and that's awesome, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's a moment of doubt and pain, total fear, and then he reins it back in, and it's like, I believe I can do that.
Good.
And as he smiles at you guys, like, woo, that's amazing, like, damn, not only did I get away with making zombies, they want me to make zombies. It's this elation, so we get that sort of elation, like, yeah, we're in business. And I want that to be our cliffhanger, like happy bad guy. and yeah, we'll go there because I think we ended in a good place with Zeek and Dot too. So
hell yeah.
I'd like to think that, like, as you see that picture of him, all you hear from Lilith as she gets in the car is like, men are so easy to fool.
as he is Beltane, or is it as Beltane's closing the door, or is it as Beltane sits down in the car with you?
As Beltane sits down in the car with
Okay.
me. He hears it.
Yeah.
He'll just grin. Yeah, I know.
And that is the perfect place to call it for tonight's game. So first off, GB, thank you so much for running this incredible game of City of Mist. I had a blast, but I always have a blast whenever you're on the channel. GB, where can we find you? What do you do?
Greybeard or Greybeard's Tavern, and other than here on Thursday nights at 8:30, you can find me Sunday at 10 a.m. ish Eastern Standard Time on my own channel, Greybeard Tavern. We are currently playing Wildermyth, and we're having just an utter blast with the game. It's so good. If the text font in the game was not what it was that throws my dyslexia so badly off, it would be a French kiss. Amazing game. But yeah, definitely try it out for yourselves. That's Sunday mornings. And then you can see me, you'll hear me, and join us on Tuesdays over on Lantern Noire's channel, where we do a happy hour at the Old Timer Tavern, where the two of us have almost 80 years of gaming knowledge, and we talk about D&D stuff. D&D stuff, wokeness, and we try to pull, curmudgeons and stuff out of their grognard thinking. And it's great because it's a chat and we welcome anyone, so you can sit down and you can ask us D&D questions. And that's it for me, GB.
Excellent. And Satan, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hi everyone, my name's Satan, or Elsa Vamp on the interwebs. You can find me on Twitter at that same name, but with a second B, because the other one was taken. But if you want to see more of my stream, you can find me here Thursday night. And you can also find me here Sunday nights as we near the end of our Frost Maiden campaign soon. Besides that, you can catch me Sunday morning DMing my own game for my friends in our homebrew world. And coming back on Saturdays, you can find me over at Valdigan's channel at 4:30 p.m. EST. I believe at the beginning of October, as we continue our third season of Dragon Age TTRPG. So if you like a hoarding table, if you like dirty jokes, and if you like elf daddies, come join that table. And elf mommies too. You can't get away without that one.
Bi Visibility Day.
Bi Visibility. Happy Bi Visibility Day, everyone. Speaking of Bi Visibility and the LGBTQ, if you like supporting those spaces, I am part of an all LGBTQ plus and all POC cast on Plot Hunters at 8 p.m. EST, where we're diving into the Underdark. So come join us as I try to find my Drider mother. That's it.
I was the one on deck. Hi, everybody. My name is Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings, mostly related to D&D, and a lot of things on this channel. Usually you can find me here on Sunday nights running Rime of the Frost Maiden. We've got like 2 or 3 of those games left. Unfortunately, no Rime of the Frost Maiden for the next 2 weeks. That's just the way it's gonna be. Sorry. Come back on the 3rd week, and we'll get through the rest of the Caves of Hunger. Hopefully, you will not get eaten by a vampire knoll. DanaeKeener.com.
Hi, I'm Jen. You can find me here on Thursdays playing Beltane Hawthorne, and you can find me over at the Hype Lovins channel on Saturday playing our Masks game, where I played the playbook The Nova, where Jaina is going to summer camp with her best friends. And on Sunday, over at the Hype Lovins channel, where I play Anthony Silverhorn, the Artificer Drow Barbarian. He's got a lot of questions for Lucy, his adopted daughter.
I'm glad she finally got adopted. What a great time. If you made it this far, you probably already know who I am, but if you don't, hey Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as well as on Sundays at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/Indoor Adventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, including full playthroughs of a bunch of content. And you can also find us anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, we are going to be going into our Patreon-supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard. The reason that we say it's made for free is because you don't need to be a patron in order to get the after show. It's just, you know, it's there because we didn't want to confuse the file hosting services, as well as, I mean, if you like what we did, it's always appreciated. That's how we pay for things like Adobe, all of the newest tabletop RPG modules, you know, that sort of thing. So come on by. Come check it out. I'm sure it's going to be a great time because I always have a blast while I'm there. But we are going to be heading off into that after show. So I'd like to say once again, thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by and join us for this game. Thank you to GB for running this incredible game. And thank you to these players for putting up with our bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Goodbye.